Good afternoon. I would like to talk about sin. And sin in our lives is anything that drives us apart from God. And that reminds me of a time that I was in a city, about roughly 2,000 miles away, and I was visiting in a home, and I had got a phone call asking me to come over to this address. So I drove over, and at this address was an older couple that had lived in this town and had moved away, and they had just moved back and had bought a little house, and they dedicated it to a home where people could come and to change their ways and to start new. They was only there for a few weeks when this young lady came. She was in her 30s, and she had a young girl about 12, a single mom. And she shared her story that she wanted to change her ways. And throughout her life, it was just change her ways and then slip back to the old ways, and then change her ways and then slip back to the old ways. And this had been going on for some time, and she was saying she was tired of this always slipping back, always falling back into a sinful life. And so she was told about this family that had recently moved back into town and had bought this home, and what this home was going to be used for. And she had gone over and she shared her story with this couple, and they thought about George and myself, so they gave us a call, and we went over to their house. She shared her same story with us as she had with this other couple. And so we said, well, then you are serious about being serious. And she said that was it. It was time to change. And so we had prayer there, and our prayers maybe lasted 10 minutes. I don't know exactly. But when this other couple and George and I and her opened up our eyes, this young lady was a complete changed person. Her appearance, her outlook, her countenance, her personality, her everything about her other than the clothes that she wore had been completely changed. And so I had seen people change over the years from one kind of a person to a different kind, and I've seen them change over weeks and over months and over years. But to see somebody change in a matter of minutes was indescribable. Indescribable. And I guess it was something like Nicodemus when Jesus said, a person must be born again. Because literally, this young lady was a new person. A brand new person.
Okay, so today here we have Bev with us, and he just shared a very personal story with him. Something that means a lot, and we're going to ask him a couple questions and get to know a little bit more about what he thought happened there. So the first question we're going to start by asking you today, Bev, is have you seen this lady since that happened?
I saw her probably 10 to 15 years later, and she came running up to me, this same changed person with a smile on her face from ear to ear and saying, Bev, I'm so happy to see you, but guess what? And I said, what? And she said she had met another young man and they fell in love. He accepted her daughter as his. They had 1 or 2 children, I forget now. And here she was saying, Bev, it is a new life, and I am so happy. Her appearance was still that bubbly type person as born again person.
So another question we have is, why do you think that she kept falling back into her old ways?
Well, I think she's like all of us. All of us has changed, but haven't all of us at some time or another slipped a little bit and kind of went back, and then we've sat down and shook our head and say, no, this isn't what it's all about. I want to change, I am going to change, and this is how I am going to do it.
So the couple that was actually letting her stay, how long did she stay with them for?
I don't know. We were only in this town for a matter of weeks. I never saw them after that while we were in this town. But from what I had gathered, this wasn't the only person that found refuge in their home. Their home, when they dedicated it to the Lord for a refuge for people that wanted to change, the Lord will send people around. The Lord will send people around.
So I don't really think there's any other questions. Is there anything else that you kind of wanted to mention about the story, or about something that happened after that?
Yes, I would daresn't say, and I don't want to say it did happen or it didn't happen, but isn't that like most of us, that we have changed and we have wanted for it to change, but we have slipped back once or twice into some of our old ways, and Jesus doesn't hold that against us. He says, come on back again. I'm still here. I'm still waiting. I will still help you. That's what I am here for. That's what I am here for.
So we thank you folks for tuning into the second part of our Sabbath session, and this connected right along because our topic was struggling with sin. And as you can tell, this lady had struggled multiple times with the sin, and she just couldn't overcome it. But once she got people on her side and had those people on her team to be there and to pray for her and to pray with her, it kind of helped her connect with God a little more, and helped God to save her and to pull her in under his arms. So folks, we thank you for tuning in today, and we thank you, Bev, for coming on the show. We really appreciate that story, and it's a very good story. So next time, we're so excited. Next time the session's on, we're going to start digging into chapter 8 of Romans. And I sincerely hope you tune in. And just always remember to do your homework. Feel free to do homework whenever you need to. Any studying that you feel that you need to do, it's always there. Just go ahead. The Bible's always open. I cannot stop you from reading the Bible. So folks, I hope we brought you your daily dose of the Bible. Although we didn't bring you the Bible today, but we brought you something close to it because it's almost like a story you would hear out of the Bible, like Bev had mentioned with Jesus and Nicodemus. So folks, thanks for tuning in, and this is Daily Bible Canada wishing you an amazing day.